Today I'm in beautiful Winter Park, Colorado, where I sat down with Ken Boenish to discuss all sorts of things. We also talked to his wife Carla and various members of his staff. Hope you enjoy the interview.
Should lock the door.
Okay, hey Ken, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Dave.
What's happening in your world right now, real estate-wise or business-wise?
A lot, actually. As you probably know, we run the top real estate team in the Winter Park area and all of Grand County, so we're pretty busy on the real estate side of things. The market is surprisingly strong, even in a high interest rate environment. Winter Park has a lot of wind in the sails. As you probably know, they're executing on a major expansion at the resort. I think they're going to plow, around over $400 million into creating a third ski mountain. So right now we've got the Winter Park mountain, we've got Mary Jane, and they're going to make a whole new mountain called Vasquez Mountain.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Where's that going to be?
Well, it's going to be actually sort of west of the existing mountain. So if you're standing at the top of Mary Jane, looking at Panorama or Parsons Bowl rather, it's going to be that big mountain just to your right.
Okay.
And it goes down into Little Vasquez Creek, so it's directly opposite of Eaglewind. Expand their ski capacity by 41%. They're doubling the parking, and they're going to create a ski back trail from the resort into downtown Winter Park.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Install a gondola to take people from downtown back to the resort, effectively making downtown Winter Park, ski in, ski out.
Wow, that is going to be really cool. You see that in like Park City, Telluride, some other places.
Breckenridge, yeah.
Yeah, Breckenridge, that's right. That's going to be a big factor for Winter Park, I think.
Yeah, I think this place is absolutely going to blow up over the next 10, 20 years. I mean, when Breckenridge installed their gondola and when Telluride installed theirs, it was a game changer for those resort towns. So, the Winter Park Ski Resort is really working toward making Winter Park a world-class destination resort.
If you like this video and you want to continue to see more content, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button on our channel. That you guys are not just selling real estate here. You're actually gotten into developing and some other things. Why don't you tell me about that?
Correct. So, our mission at the company is to provide a world-class client experience before, during, and after the transaction.
Okay.
And sort of as a natural evolution of our company, we've gotten into the development business. So we have 3 developments that are ongoing right now. We've got 12 homes in Fraser that we're building in a small development called Elevate. We've got 3 homes in downtown Winter Park on the river that we're building. And then the big one is Lakota Point. So Lakota is a luxury home neighborhood that started in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And the current development is just about complete. And we put together a private equity offering in 2022, raised the money to buy Lakota Point, which is the last iteration of Lakota. It sits way up high above the existing Lakota neighborhood, and it's super special because it's oriented right toward the Continental Divide. So you get James Peak, Perry Peak, Flora, and then the ski area is about at the 1 o'clock position. Okay. And we've got 118 luxury homes planned for that neighborhood.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're going to be the developer?
We're going to be the developer and the builder.
And the sales.
Correct.
Essentially, right?
So it's really part of our extension of delivering that world-class client experience all the way through the process from creating the development, the neighborhood, building a very high-quality home, and then the real estate transaction, just making sure that we take really great care of our clients all the way through the process.
So how did you get into that? Because most realtors sell property.
Right.
They're listing or they're working with buyers or both. How did you decide to expand into development and construction?
Well, it was really sort of an organic process. So when I first got into the real estate business, I was very fortunate to meet a local real estate developer, and for whatever reason, he had a lot of confidence in me and offered me the opportunity to be the listing broker on Hideaway Station, which is the building we're sitting in right now. So all these condos above my office. Winter Park is growing like crazy. It's the closest major resort town to Denver. It's the quickest and easiest to get to from Denver International Airport and the Front Range. It's the least expensive and currently, the least developed. So there's just a lot of opportunity here for growth. When our clients hire us, they don't just get a realtor, they get the whole team. They get a 7-person team that is dedicated to them. And what that allows us to do is allows us to develop expertise in certain areas of the business. It's sort of like a baseball team, right? So the right fielder is not the pitcher or the catcher. They have a specific job, and because they do that job and they're dedicated to that job, they become an expert at it.
Let's talk about values real quick. Do you guys have a mission statement, a value statement or anything, or a general belief, that philosophy that you guys deal with?
Yes, we do, Dave. And our mission is to deliver a world-class client experience before, during, and after the transaction. So we have the attitude of investing in relationships, not transactions. And that's really served us well because over 70% of our business comes by way of referral. So what we really want to do is do a fantastic job for our client, really, blow their socks off, make it the best real estate experience they've ever had, so that they can't help talking to their friends, their neighbors, their colleagues about what a great job we did. And if a friend of theirs is interested in a mountain property, we get an introduction.
So you mentioned you work with your clients before, during, and after the process. Can you go through that a little bit with me? If I was a new client of yours, what would the process, and I'm looking to buy a house, what would sort of our process be?
So the process would be, sort of more of an interview process to really discover what your goals and aspirations are relative to mountain property. I mean, if you think about it, we work primarily in a second home market. I mean, almost the vast majority of the transactions we do are for second homes. And these people are investing, $300,000, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million in a second home. That is a big investment, and it requires a high degree of trust. So we start by really building that foundation of trust by understanding what our clients' goals and aspirations are, what's important to them. And I guess probably the best part of this business is the relationships that we've made along the way.
Kind of on that note, tell me a little bit about, what does this area mean to you, Winter Park and Grand County in general? What brought you here? What does it mean to you to live here?
So when my kids were small, I was listening to NPR. I'm kind of an NPR junkie, right? And they had this story about Winter Park having the best kids ski program in the state. And I thought, perfect. I want something that we can do as a family and spend time together. So I'm going to get my kids in ski school. Right, so we were living in Boulder at the time, and we drove up and put them in ski school in the morning and drove back home. And I think we did that exactly twice. And I said, that's it, I'm buying a place.
Yeah.
I discovered that you can ask your kids really uncomfortable questions on a chairlift, and they can't get away from that.
I'm going to have to use that with my 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great tactic.
And then really the value proposition of Winter Park, we could get a much nicer home for the money here than we could in other areas. And we really love the small town feel of Winter Park.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I grew up in Minnesota, went to college, got out of college, got a job. and actually did pretty well for a young man.
What was your first job out of college?
My first job was selling television ads on the local cable television platform.
Right.
So I sold everything I owned, moved to Hawaii.
Oh, you did? You
Yeah.
lived in Hawaii for a while. How long did you live there?
About 5 years.
Okay, that must have been a great experience.
It was a great life. It really was. And I ended up getting back into the cable television business there, working for a local cable television operator. And I totally forgot that I am full throttle on everything I do in life. And
what's the point otherwise, right?
Well, yeah, less than a year into the business, we ended up starting our own brokerage. We started hiring employees. We started representing development projects. And within 3 years, we became the top producing real estate team in the Winter Park area and in all of Grand County.
We've been doing inspections in the Winter Park, Grand County area for 20 years before you were here. And I remember when you came in, you kind of turned this area upside down a little bit from what I saw. Very quickly, our relationship between our two companies started to develop, and I could see from our end and our statistics that you were just quickly taking off. I mean, you were sending inspection clients our way at a quicker rate than anybody else in the valley. And to me, it was just, I could tell this, you and this company were really going to do some great things here in Winter Park, and it really looks like you are.
Well, when we bought our first permanent residence here, Tiger did our inspection.
Yeah, okay.
And I was really impressed with the inspection report and the detail and all the photos, and being able to ask the inspector questions about the property, and it just gave me a lot of confidence going into the transaction. So when we started, helping people buy and sell real estate in Grand County, Tiger Home Inspections was my go-to, because I had such a great personal experience with your company. And, when I think about what I want my legacy to be is, I want to have a positive impact on the people around me. And when I'm gone, I want the people on our team, the people that have become our clients and our friends, I want them to feel like their lives are richer because they knew me.
Yeah. Let's get to know Ken Boenish a little bit better. Let's do a quick lightning round of some questions. Dog or cat?
Absolutely dog. We have 2 dogs in the office every day.
Are you an early bird or night owl?
Absolutely an early bird. I'm in bed at 8:30 every night, and I'm up somewhere between 4 and 4:30. And I've just found that those few hours in the morning before the rest of the world wakes up, is my time to really work on myself. I read a lot of books. I'm on a mission to grow and develop as a person and a business owner.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. Me too. Favorite season of the year?
Wow, that's a tough one. When you live in the mountains, most people come here for the winter, for the skiing and the outdoor recreation during the winter time. But we kind of have a saying here in the mountains that we came for the winter and stayed for the summer.
Yep.
Because the summers are just absolutely gorgeous.
They really are.
I mean, during our hottest months of the year, the average high temperature is 71 degrees. It gets down into the low 50s at night. And it's just, there's something magical about summertime in the mountains. So I'm going to have to say summer.
Okay, summer. Paperback books or ebooks?
I do both.
Okay.
I like ebooks because it's on my phone, and when I have 5 or 10 minutes in between something, I can read a few pages. So I like having it with me all the time on the airplane when I travel, or if I'm just having a quiet moment. But I like hardcover books as well, because I get to underline things and make some notes. And I've recently started listening to audiobooks recently. So I've got a book right now that I'm reading called Buy Back Your Time, and it's really about how to grow as a leader and focus on doing the things that you love to do, that light you up, that you're good at and have the biggest impact to the bottom line, and delegating everything else to other people on the team, which then, honestly creates opportunity for them to grow.
Right. Favorite room in the house?
My favorite room in the house has got to be my living room.
Okay.
I live on a 35-acre horse ranch property
Nice.
with beautiful views of the Eastern Continental Divide, and we've got a really nice big fireplace and gorgeous views, and the mountains are sort of like the artwork in the house, and it's really cool because it's always changing depending on the weather and the time of day with the light. In the morning we get these fantastic sunrises that are just brilliant orange and pink colors. And then in the evening time when the sun is setting, it just lights up the snow-covered mountain peaks, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's amazing. What they call that, the alpenglow.
Yeah, right? The alpenglow, that's right.
I've heard that term forever, and it took me forever to realize what it meant, but it's that glow that you get in the dawn or like the dusk of like an orange light that glows off the
when the sun hits the mountains just right, and it just lights them up.
Beautiful. Okay, favorite hobby outside of work?
Favorite hobby? I have lots of hobbies outside of work. So
Okay.
I love snowboarding. Because I live here, I've become a powder snob, so I really only go snowboarding when there's 6 inches of fresh snow or more.
Okay.
So I love snowboarding. I love mountain biking. I've got a couple of dirt bikes. I ride dirt bikes, trail riding.
Okay.
We like to snowshoe and cross-country ski. We like to hike. So, I mean, we live here for all the reasons people come to visit Winter Park, because we love outdoor recreation.
Yeah.
I call it forced therapy.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to live in Hawaii for a while, and they call that paradise, and I refer to the mountains of Colorado as the other paradise.
2024, still first quarter. What do you see happening in the real estate market in this area over the next 6 to 12 months?
Sure. So I think, COVID-19 was sort of a paradigm shift for a lot of people, and it really rewrote the script for people in the sense that most of our clients are successful people. They've been successful, they've saved some money, and they want to put some of that hard-earned capital into an investment vehicle that will allow them to enjoy their time with their family and their friends now. Because everybody just learned you can't save it all for someday.
Right.
And it really was a boost for outdoor recreation. I think outdoor recreation is now growing 3 times faster than the general economy, and puts more than $400 billion toward gross domestic product. So, and we live in an outdoor recreation paradise, right? And I think that Winter Park is really just stepping onto the main stage in terms of mountain resort towns. It's the least developed major resort in Colorado, but that's changing. The Crown family that owns Aspen Ski Company bought the resort back in 2017.
Okay.
They're plowing hundreds of millions of dollars into development and improvements and expansion of the ski resort. And I think the word's out on Winter Park these days. And from my opinion, we're in the early stages, probably the first inning of the ball game in terms of the next growth story for Winter Park. And so I think that 2024 is going to be a fantastic year for real estate. And I think the next 10 and 20 years in Winter Park is going to be phenomenal for appreciation of real estate.
Okay, hi, we're here with Carla Boenish, Ken's wife. Hi, Carla.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
What does Winter Park in this area mean to you?
Well, we had a second home here, and we would come up, and it was like a vacation every time we came up to use our property. So in 14, we decided to make this our permanent home, and honestly, I pinch myself every day.
Right.
The landscape is beautiful. I love the mountains. I love the nature. I love all the activities. So.
What would you say to a potential new home buyer who was thinking about this area? Well, but they weren't sure. What would you say to convince them that this is the area to be?
There are so many activities. You can be, every season you can be active outdoors if that's what you desire. If you're into photography, we have everything from animals to, mountains.
What's your role here at the real estate company?
I pitch in showing properties. I also develop processes and procedures for the company with Ken. We train the team, and my role is kind of caring for the team.
Okay. Tell us something about Ken that nobody knows.
One of the funny things I remember him telling me a story about when he was growing up is he loved to pretend he was Superman.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Which to me, I think he is my Superman. But he honestly he had this cape. He tells me stories. He would pretend like he was flying from the stairs and jumping down, and the cape would fly up behind him.
This was when you were about 25, right, Ken?
No, I think I was 4.
You still have that Superman cape?
I don't, but sometimes I feel like I have a big S on my chest. I love it because Carla just is a great compliment to me. She is strong in areas that I'm not.
Yeah. Carla, what's your favorite thing about working in the real estate business?
Just the different people we get to meet. We've met so many interesting clients who have turned out to be some of our closest best friends.
Yeah.
We get to help make dreams come true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buying a mountain home is a very, very exciting thing for people that go through that process, and just seeing the joy and excitement on their faces is priceless.
Yeah. You want to show us around a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we acquired this office space. It was a cold, dark shell when we got it, which means there were no walls or anything in it. It was just a big empty room. And we wanted to create a very inviting and professional environment where our team would have a place to work where they really enjoy being here. And we wanted to create a space where we can be social with our clients as well.
Before we do that, in true mountain fashion, we've got the dogs running around the office.
Yeah, that's Hazel and Raleigh. They're our real estate dogs. They greet everybody. I think Winter Park has the designation of the most dog-friendly mountain town in Colorado.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool, right?
All right, let's take a look around.
Sure. So we're kind of transitioning this wall. This is where we have a display for our development project. So Lakota Point is our big new development. We're installing the wall here right now. Around the corner, we'll have finished selections mounted on boards so people can pick out their flooring and their tile and their cabinetry and things like that. And then we have this nice big kitchen where we host happy hours and we cook team dinners together from time to time and have team lunch. And normally when we do happy hours, we do what's called a leveraged event. So we get to support a local charity while we entertain our clients.
Oh,
and
wow, that's fantastic.
The last big event we did was a chocolate and bourbon pairing event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that event filled up faster than anything we've ever done, and we were able to raise $10,000 for the Range of Motion project. And it's a charity that we support where they recycle prosthetics in Denver, and then they send them to South America and provide the gift of mobility to people that would not otherwise be able to get a prosthetic device.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is, and we give back to lots of local charities. Winter Park is the home for the NSCD, the National Sports Center for the Disabled. We also support the Mountain Family Center, and that's a food shelf and sort of thrift store for local families in need. And so we try to give back where we can. And we've got our executive assistant, Kelly. She's the first person people see when they walk in the door.
Hi, Kelly. What's your main role here?
Helping Ken stay on track. And then all the odds and ends of all the projects and developments, helping out wherever I can.
Excellent.
She keeps me prepared, on track, and on time for everything. I'm the kind of guy where when I start working, I lose track of all sense of time. And I have to be reminded when I have meetings or things that I need to be to. Otherwise, I'll just get tunnel vision and lose track of what time of day it is.
Yeah.
Crystal Moeller, our Director of Operations.
Hi, Crystal.
Hello.
Hey, tell us a little bit about what you do here.
Well, I run a tight ship. No, I'm just kidding. Mostly handling all of our contract to close, overseeing all of that, making sure that, everything is on the up and up in the office and we're hitting all of our deadlines.
To introduce you to Nick Nimmerfro.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Nick is a transaction manager for the company, and this guy gets so many compliments from clients. They actually bring him gifts.
Really?
Normally we gift clients when they close on a property, but Nick gets clients bring him gifts because he does such an awesome job.
I am, and I do my best to make it so that clients don't have to keep track of all the little things.
Awesome.
I like to hire people that make up for my deficiencies. I am not a detail person,
Right.
so I do need people around me that do pay attention to the details.
Absolutely. It takes the whole team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just want to thank you for taking the time today with me, but also just being so dedicated to the community and everything that you do.
Well, thanks, Dave. That's a huge compliment, and I got to say that nobody finds success by themselves. It's all about creating partnerships. And we've had a great partnership with your company, and we really appreciate the service you provide and giving our clients confidence when they're buying a new home in the mountains. It really means a lot.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, thanks, Ken, for your time. We appreciate it. How can we find you? How can people get a hold of you?
Oh, it's easy. So my mobile number is 303-817-5369. I do give clients my personal mobile number, or just email team@trecwp.com. That's team@trecwp.com.
Great. All right. Well, thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Dave.